Everyone, this is Jorge Gonzalez, real estate agent, author, and public speaker with my good friend.
I'm Coach L. I'm also a real estate agent and relationship coach.
And today's episode is going to be values and priorities. Oh, this one is going to get juicy too. So, values and priorities. So, that's a question that you ask your clients. Now, why is it important to know your values and priorities? Let's get that started. What's important about that?
Before you basically like to invite somebody to come to your life, in a love relationship or in a partnership in business, you have to kind of ask yourself, what are your values? What are your priorities? What are you looking for in the relationship, whatever relationship you're looking into starting? So those are the questions that you really need to sit down. I just invite you to do that, to sit down and give yourself at least half an hour, 20 minutes to write down what you want. And that's the key in knowing. When you know what you want, then it's easier when these other people come to your life or you bring them to your life. Then you know, okay, yes to this, no to this, yes to this, no to that. So you become clear about your values and wants.
This sounds like a wish list of the wish yes and wishes no. Interesting enough, when I date somebody, I do go into this topic of things that I expect and things that I do not expect in the relationships or friendships for that matter. And sometimes it appears to be that I'm the bad guy because I have expectations. And then when things don't happen according to our conversation, the relationship or the friendship starts to decrease because of course, they didn't believe what I said, that there's certain things that I will not tolerate. And they thought, oh, he's just kidding. He's such a nice guy. He'll be okay with it. Actually, no, I'm not okay with it. So, so values and priorities are definitely very, very important. From your clients that you've coached, what have some values and priorities that weren't met by their partners that they became an issue that they might have addressed to you?
It can be as simple as I would like to interact or see my partner 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And if the other person wants to see the other person only once a week, then it's not gonna, that's my need.
Correct.
I want somebody in my life that would like to see 3 times a week. That's my need. So if that need is not met, then there will be a gap in between.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're able to actually communicate that, and you can kind of balance it out, and they say, okay, let's meet twice a week. Then if that's okay with you and that's okay with him, or then you can start that interaction.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me of a book that I read, the 4 or 5 love languages, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I wish I would have read that book in relationships past, because it made me realize what my love language was, but it also made me think and remember what the love languages were for my partners and the people that I had in my life. And to be completely honest, I don't think that I was loving them in their love language. I was only loving them in my love language.
Exactly.
And that was a huge mistake that I didn't address either. So, but I'm learning. I'm still a young guy, so I'm still learning, but I think understanding and accepting the fact that we did make mistakes and go to other relationships knowing that, and really love people the way they want to be loved, and really adhere to the things that they want us to adhere to. That way we're in more healthy relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as these priorities, can you also share like maybe some positive of what some of your clients might have told you because they were successful because these things actually did take place versus they didn't take place that you can share maybe?
I had clients that after our sessions, they were understanding what your needs are,
Yeah.
and valuing it for yourself, then it becomes easier to communicate.
Yeah.
And it's, if you have not done it in the past and you don't know what your needs are, then I do actually prior to our session, I will send them 2 pages of the needs that are normal, and also the feelings. So I ask them to really sit down and concentrate and see what need. I write it down, at least 5 of them. That those are the needs that you cannot negotiate.
Yeah.
This is what you need, and these are the feelings that I have. So it's very important when you're in a relationship, you know what your needs are, and then you make sure that you kind of communicate that to your partner, and also understand that what your feelings are. A lot of people, a lot of my clients at the first few sessions, I ask them, okay, so this is what happened. How did it make you feel? They give me another story. Twice I asked them, and I smiled. I said, remember we talked about that sheet that I gave you about feelings? Anger, happiness, sad. What did you feel when this happened? And then they just like all of a sudden they get it, and then they kind of think about it in just 2 seconds, and they tell me what they feel. A lot of people cannot go. I mean, I was like that many years ago. I couldn't even understand my feelings, so I had to kind of go through a lot of work to be able to feel my feelings, express my feelings in a very loving way. Even if somebody makes you angry, there is a way to say what you have to say to that person. It does not have to be very harsh. It can be very gentle. But as long as you can talk and actually express how it made you feel, not that person, but that situation, that interaction. Because usually it's not that person that makes you feel that way. Something that happened in the past, that interaction brings that past back to you.
It triggers it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had several situations where somebody can disappoint me because I expected something from them and I didn't receive it. The reaction or the way they responded to what I was trying to give. But like I said earlier, I give a certain way and I was expecting them to give the same way I give, but that's not the way it works. And the frustration that comes from it, and then the disappointment that comes from it, sometimes it's anger. Okay, we're not gonna lie, sometimes it's anger, but then we don't communicate why we had or why we're in that emotional state. What triggered it? We don't say that. We only say we're mad, we're disappointed, but we don't say what triggered it. Was it because they didn't do this for us? And sometimes it's really simple things.
Yeah, and it's because, let's say there's 2 people and one of the love language for that person is to receive gifts.
Yeah, which I don't give gifts. So that would be a disappointing thing, right?
But then if you talk about it, as prior to getting seriously involved, okay, my love language is touch.
Yeah.
My love language is to tell me that sweetheart,
yes, Love you, kind words.
I love you. Come and sit next to. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the loving words. If you understand the other person's love language and you understand yours, then you can come to, you know, kind of a here, and in a space that it will be, you can work it out.
I think with my next relationship that I get into, I am definitely going to bring up the love language scenario, and I'm definitely going to write some stuff down, and I want us to both understand what we expect from either side. That way we don't have these disappointments, and that when they do happen and we do get into this emotional state, at least we know why our partners got to that position, because we might not have responded in a certain way that we were expected by our significance. And this shows love. This shows that you care. If you say, well, I don't want to talk about it, well, that clearly shows that we don't care, you know. So, but definitely communication is key here. So for me, like I said, the love language thing was a little bit confusing for me until I read the book, you know, and I really realized that I'm a giver. And because I give so much, I'm really a protector. I was expecting people to do that for me. And that is not going to happen. Now, I can ask for it, and maybe they can do everything in their power to do it. But we have to understand that we all have different love languages. Exactly. And different ways of showing that we care for the individual. Like, I'm not the guy that'll give gifts. So if you expect gifts from me, you're not going to get gifts, because that's not how I do it, because I feel like I'm buying your love and I'm buying you being around me, and that's not something that I do. But I will do everything that I can to hug you, give you encouraging words, morning texts, and that's how I express myself, and by actions, but definitely not by gifts. That's never been my one, for the reason that I just mentioned, that I feel like I'm buying the love or the relationship. That's not something that I do.
So see, George, this is your
correct. These are mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if that person, not you, somebody else, if they know and understand why that's their love language and this is not, then it's easier to communicate. Correct. You know, because of this and this. But I know that, and this is my love language. And that's it.
But I also get very disappointed when I don't get a gift for my birthday, at least. You know? So once in a while is okay, just not all the time, you know? And give flowers, give that person flowers, because flowers are beautiful. And I think all females deserve flowers in some days, you know? And be surprised. Something spontaneous, but not something that happens all the time, because there's really no special moment there, because he always does it, or she always does it. You know, get them by surprise and do something special. You know, is there something else that you would like to share on this subject that might be useful to our viewers? Maybe share one of your experiences that you felt good about a certain thing that was given to you or done for you.
Oh, personal stuff?
Yeah, something personal that might have felt, it makes you feel good when somebody maybe does that to you, like you know?
You put me in a spot right now. My, I guess, love language is verbal. So if, thank you for being here, thank you for, you know, I see, to be seen and heard.
To be acknowledged.
Acknowledged, that's mine.
Yeah.
So yes, so and it's not just the in a love relationship, but at work or working with my real estate clients. When one of them actually told me that I made sure that they bought this apartment building, and they were very excited and they were happy about it. So they told me, oh, you're the I appreciate all your hard work and what you did for us to, you know, purchase this. So it was nice. Well, it's nice to hear that.
Correct.
So I felt heard and